You know, if there's one thing I've learned after nearly a century on this planet, it's that people always underestimate the power of slow, creeping danger. The kind that doesn't explode overnight, but builds quietly, year after year, while everyone's busy chasing the next big distraction. Today, I want to talk about those dangers, the ones America isn't ready for, the ones we've ignored for too long, and the ones Charlie Munger warned us about over and over again. Let's start with something simple. Incentives matter. They shape behavior more reliably than promises, speeches, or political slogans. If a system rewards short-term thinking, you will get short-term thinkers. If a system encourages debt, speculation, and gambling, you will get a society addicted to easy money. And right now, America is paying the price for decades of bad incentives. Charlie Munger once said, "If you're not confused, you don't understand what's going on." And he was right. Because we're living in a time where debt is at record highs, speculation is normalized, bubbles form faster than ever, responsibility is declining, and people believe they can get rich without doing any work. That's a recipe for disaster. Now let's talk about debt, because debt is the quiet storm that nobody wants to confront. America is drowning in it. Government debt, corporate debt, consumer debt, everyone borrowing, everyone spending, and almost nobody asking the question, what happens when the bill finally comes due? Munger warned us, you can't do without discipline. If you don't enforce it on yourself, the world will enforce it on you. And the world is getting ready to enforce it. Then we have inflation, the silent thief. People think it's under control, but long-term, inflation punishes the undisciplined. Munger said many times, inflation is a way of destroying savings without having a revolution. Think about that. It slowly takes away your purchasing power, your security, your future, all while appearing invisible to the untrained eye. Most people think a dollar is a dollar, but a dollar today is not a dollar tomorrow. And that misunderstanding will hurt millions. Let's move on to something even more dangerous. Irrational optimism. America has always believed the future will be better. And most of the time, that optimism has been justified. But blind optimism is a different creature. It tells people they're safe when they're not. It tells investors that bubbles will never burst. It tells governments that deficits don't matter. And it tells young people that success doesn't require sacrifice. Munger warned that most people don't learn from history. That's the tragedy of mankind. And we're repeating the same mistakes, just faster. Another issue Munger emphasized was entitlement and dependency. He believed strongly in personal responsibility, in self-reliance, in discipline. But today, many people want rewards without effort, success without failure, and comfort without sacrifice. That's not how reality works. Reality demands work. Reality demands patience. Reality demands discipline. Munger put it bluntly. If you want to live a good life, you have to delay gratification. But we live in a culture of instant gratification, and that creates weak foundations. Now let's talk about speculation, one of Munger's favorite enemies. We've created a world where people gamble on stocks, crypto, real estate, political predictions, anything that moves. It's not investing. It's not even thinking. It's hoping. Munger said, speculation is the cancer of capitalism, and it's spreading fast. When people stop valuing real businesses, real work, real value, you get bubbles, you get crashes, you get chaos. And America isn't ready for the consequences. Another crisis Munger warned about, the decline of trust. Trust in institutions, trust in media, trust in leaders, trust in each other. Once trust breaks, systems collapse from the inside. Because stability doesn't come from money or power. It comes from shared confidence. When that confidence disappears, everything starts to wobble. And right now, America is wobbling. Munger also talked about stupidity, and he wasn't shy about it. He said, avoiding stupidity is easier than seeking brilliance. But America keeps rewarding stupidity. People follow influencers who don't know anything. They take advice from people who have never succeeded. They believe promises from leaders who never deliver. That's not a path to strength. That's a path to decline. And then there's greed. Greed drives bubbles. Greed drives scams. Greed drives corruption. And greed drives division. And the worst part is that greed always disguises itself as opportunity. Munger said, it's not greed that's bad, it's stupid greed. And that's what we're seeing today. Greed without intelligence. Now let's turn to something Munger cared deeply about.
Character. He believed that strong nations are built by strong people. People who work hard. People who think for themselves. People who build instead of complain. People who sacrifice instead of demand. But he worried that America was losing that character. That we were becoming soft, comfortable, distracted,